Today, I want to talk about one of the most important concepts every independent B2B consultant should understand if they really want to take their offer into cold traffic and be able to turn strangers outside of your network into paying engagements and clients. But before that, my name is Mo and I'm the founder of WC Funnels. We're a small agency that helps independent B2B consultants get more engagements, build out their offer, and actually position themselves in a market where they can stand out in the vast majority of consultants out there. But anyway, we're actually creating this content to give you guys value and to talk about the experiences and how we work with clients. You can take that information and implement it on your own, or if you want, you can actually work with us and book a call below. Either way, thanks for joining and let's get into it. Okay, so I speak with a lot of independent consultants every single day, and a common thing that keeps on showing up is them completely relying on referrals and word of mouth for actually generating clients and engagement opportunities, which, obviously makes sense. If you do a good job, people are going to refer you to their colleagues and their the corporations that they work at. And while that's a really great sign that you're doing a good job for your clients, it really can be unpredictable at times. And if you are a consultant that has experienced these ups and downs, this feast and famine kind of cycles, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The moment one engagement ends, you have no idea where the next one is coming from. And even if you do, this could be the cycle where you get 1, 2, and then nothing. It really could be unpredictable at times, and that's basically one of the things that we really solve. And I'm going to show you today in this video with the concept that I mentioned, how we actually are able to solve this. Now, the first step of adding a secondary client acquisition channel next to your referrals so you're not as reliant on it is actually deciding on which channel you want to use for your consulting practice. It could be posting content. It could be reaching out to your prospects like cold DMs, cold email campaigns, and all of that. It could be webinars and online events or in-person events and all these options, right? So you need to decide on which one you really want to go with. Now, the most popular one, and it's popular for a reason because it's really simple and everyone can actually implement it and start doing it today, which is basically outreach, and preferably LinkedIn outreach, because they can actually go on your profile, look at your experience, and actually know that you're you have a lot of experiences in the space and you know what you're talking about, right? So this is what I would really prefer consultants start with. And by now, everybody and their mom can actually do this. It's really simple. Just go on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, put a bunch of filters, and then export that list, connect with them, and the person or the people who actually accept your connection request, you reach out to them. That is not hard. And that is the easy part, right? What really gets hard is actually the message that you send to that prospect. How do you know that this message actually resonates? And how do you know that they have that problem that you can solve? These are the questions that are worth answering. And if you're able to answer this for your specific industry and your specific clients, you will unlock a channel that could be so profitable, that could generate you so many opportunities later down the line. You won't even understand how the potential that you can unlock just by answering these questions and being able to nail that strategy, that message that you can send to these prospects. Now, what most consultants do is they just send a simple connection message. Hey, I saw that you were the job title at company ABC. Would love to connect. Let's have a coffee chat. Let's see what opportunities you have available. And while that's really natural and human, I get where you're coming from because I know you don't want to pitch in the first message, and I'm not telling you to pitch, but I'm going to show you an alternative method. While that's really natural and human, it really doesn't get you anywhere. It really does not get you anywhere, because now what ends up happening is that the person receiving that message are like, okay, we're connected. What else now? You're not pointing out a specific problem. You're not offering to help solve that problem. And there's no basis behind that initial message. And that's going to be your first impression. That's what really is going to generate you some opportunities. And now on the other side of this, you don't want to come in the DMs and explaining your whole experience and background. The sweet spot is actually something called a front-end offer. And this is the concept that I was referring to in the beginning of the video. Now, a front-end offer is not a lead magnet. A lead magnet is something that you offer for free to get somebody's attention and just basically have them get a conversation with you. A front-end offer is something that you don't do for free, but it's something you know for a fact most of the prospects and the clients that you work with actually want. So basically, you're giving them what they want, and whenever they accept that offer, which is that could be like a consultation, right? It depends. That could be an audit. Whatever that is, you actually sell them that thing because that's what they're thinking about whenever they go to sleep. And then whenever they take that step towards you, hop on a call, actually you serve them that thing that you promised, and then you can upsell them into bigger engagements in the back end. And this is how it works. And you might just ask, why not offer a lead magnet? Isn't that better? I mean, it's free. We'll get more people to raise their hand, right? And 2 points on this. First point is, if you're reaching out to high-level executives, they don't care about something that is free. They just care about something that is genuinely valuable, right? That's the first point. And the second point is actually about lead magnets, which is they are so overused these days where prospects are conditioned. They're primed to know these are not as valuable, and the sole purpose of them is just to get people people's attention or prospects' attention. So they're, in my opinion, from our testing, they're very overused, and now they're declining in how effective they actually are. But when you implement a front-end offer, something that you know they want and they are looking for, you are way more likely to get them in the door, actually get paid, and build some trust and authority to move on to bigger engagements and actually sell them what they need, right? Because another common thing that I hear is that your clients as a consultant, they don't know what they need. They might think they need a different solution, they're a different onboarding system, but they need a different thing, right? And that's your job as a consultant, to be able to help them identify what they actually need. But when you're reaching out to cold prospects who don't know you and there's no trust there, you can't lead with something like that. You want to lead with something that actually grabs their attention and they are actually thinking about. Now, I'll actually give you an example of how we're implementing this front-end offer in our agency and consulting business. Now, we work with consultants, obviously. What do consultants think they need? From our conversations, the thing that keeps on coming up is, I need more leads. I need more discovery calls. I need more conversations with my ideal clients. And from there, I would be able to get more engagements. But that's like filling a bucket with water that has a hole at the bottom. That bucket will never be full because there's no real way to actually convert those leads and conversations into actual paid engagements, which is the offer, the conversion mechanism, something they actually want, something that your clients actually want and they're looking for. And they're willing to pay you that first paycheck to build trust and authority and move on into bigger engagements. And that's what we sell them on the back end, right? Whenever we work with a consultant, first thing we hear, I need more leads. Perfect. Let's get on a call. I'll show you how to get more leads. And then I educate them on how your offer is more important, because you can have fewer conversations with a better offer and get more engagements than have so many discovery calls and a horrible offer that isn't clear and doesn't promise a clear outcome or solve a clear problem for your clients, and basically just waste your time speaking with a bunch of prospects and have nothing turn into actual paid work. Now, I want you to take that example and really reverse engineer it with your clients that you work with. What do you hear that they want the most? And make that your front-end offer. And then when you have that conversation with them, and when you build that trust in that first initial small engagement, you can actually educate them on, hey, by the way, this is what's wrong, and this is what we really need to fix, and this is why. But if you lead with that in your first message, they won't believe you because there's no trust there. They don't know who you are. And we're talking strictly about reaching out to cold prospects. We're not talking about reaching out to anyone within your network, because obviously that would be different. But that's the way that you want to kind of go about it, right? What is the thing that your clients keep on mentioning that they think they need, and use that as your front-end offer. And in the back end, you can actually upsell them the thing that they genuinely need to solve their problem in their corporation. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much and I was able to articulate my thoughts in a clear way. I'm not really used to filming, so hopefully over time we can get better and better. But yeah, again, if you are an independent B2B consultant that has more than 5 years of experience and you really want to grow your independent practice, just book a call in the description and we'll have that chat and see how we can potentially work together. Looking forward to speaking with you.